Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome back. This week I have a great topic and I wanted to talk to you about what to do when your partner's habits and maybe parts of their lifestyle don't match with yours. And I have talked to people over time who have partners who maybe do things a little bit differently than they do in their lives. So I'll use the example of our eating habits and our eating choices. So, for instance, if you're in a partnership where one of you is a vegan and the other one is a meat eater, this has the potential to create quite a conflict in the relationship. Other examples are, you have somebody who is a smoker and somebody who is not, or somebody who is a drinker and somebody who is not. And of course, there are varying degrees of these habits, but for the most part, I'm talking about people who, they have a little bit of an unhealthy habit. They're not, addicted to, a super harsh substance or anything like that. I guess you could use it in that instance too, but I'm talking about something that, is not on your deal breaker list or is not really harming you physically or emotionally in some way. And I want to talk about how you can work through that with your partner because I think probably there's most relationships that come across something like this where somebody's got this habit and it just drives the other person up the wall and they just want them to stop because it's not good for their health or it's not good for the relationship or they're just irritated by it. And so I wanted to let you all, aware of what's going on in that situation and what you can do about it. So I think that there's a few questions. If you're the partner who is on the side of you're being driven nuts by somebody else who has this habit that you'd like them to stop, I invite you to take a really good look at your options. So what I mean by that is, well, one of your options is not being with that partner and ask yourself, what does that look like? What does it look like not having that person in your life? And how do you feel about that? And the other option is, okay, well, you choose to stay with this person, and since we know we can't change anybody, we know there's a good chance that we're going to be, face to face with this habit that they have, or their way of eating, or their way of exercising that maybe we're not super happy about. And what are we going to do about that? And so most of the time what we'll find is that, okay, the option where we're not with this person doesn't sit well with us and we don't want to consider that and that's not going to work. So what we're left with is, okay, what does my life look like? I'm with this person and they have this habit that I don't agree with. Well, now what am I going to do? And the only thing you can do is to talk to this person about it. And if it's something where you've had this addiction or habit and you've been willing and able to break it, then you need to talk to your partner about what that feels like for you being in a relationship with somebody who, continues to have this habit or addiction. If you haven't had this addiction or this habit, then you can communicate on a different point and say, this is what it does for me, and this is what um, I don't like about it, and this is how I feel when, you do this. But we're not going to blame them or ask somebody to completely change a habit or an addiction because, as we all know, that just doesn't work. But what we can do is communicate our full feelings around how that person's habit or addiction makes us feel. And so they know that each time they do that, what it's doing to you and what it's doing to the relationship. And most of the time, what you'll find is just creating an open dialogue around the habit or the addiction or the situation that you're not happy about, and owning how you feel about it sort of creates a space and a safety for the person to consider maybe what it would be like not to have that habit or not to have that addiction. And they feel safer talking to you about maybe why they do it or what it does for them. So instead of there being this really big judgmental wall up between you and your partner around this lifestyle or this thing that they do that you don't like, you actually invite and create intimacy through it. And it creates this whole different air of relationship for you. Instead of it being this really angry, sticking point, you can actually turn it around and have it create intimacy with your partner. I hope this serves you, and I just want to invite you all, if you like this video, to please pass it on to somebody else who has been struggling with this. Maybe they have a partner that you know that they have this habit that drives them up the wall. So feel free to please send this video on to them. And if you love my videos, I have more of them on my website at luminousLiving.ca. And if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about, I've been taking suggestions from people and I'm working to get those videos ready as well. So I'd love to hear from anybody who wants to hear anything more specific about an issue in relationships or, self-development or self-growth. Please just shoot me an email or a message on Facebook, and I'd love to continue to take suggestions. So I hope you all have a really wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Bye.